what I'm going to present here is my findings on what has happened with the nanotech, that it has it's actually invaded the human genome. The mRNA has attached the nanotech to our DNA, and it is building nanotech in our bodies. Now, I discovered this 12 years ago, and I've been working on it 18 hours a day since then. What I have found in extracting these from the body is that this is now known on the internet as Morgellons. But what it is basically nanotechnology that has adhered to the body, and it is utilizing the DNA codes and the RF frequencies from the Wi-Fi in the air, and it's constructing nanotech computer system. Now, this is going to sound really bizarre, and it is, but all the documents show the mechanics of the build in the publications coming from the nanotech research people who are developing this. The only thing that they're missing here is that now there's an mRNA component attached to it, and it is slowly transforming humans into a nanotech human hybrid. So I'm going to explain the process. All my documents are available online. It's extensive. I doubt that anybody will ever get through all 12 years of the 18 hours a day I've been putting into this, documenting it from the start to the finish, including 20,000 pictures of the nanotech nodes that I've extracted from my body. Their surface mount, and this is what I'm going to get into here, is how this happens, is that there is a polymer fallout and hydrogel coming from the geoengineering. It's landing on the skin surface, and it sheds up to 17,000 times its weight in water that it pulls from the body, and it begins to shrink wrap into a plasticized biofilm coating. This plugs the glands and chokes the body off. The nanoparticulates, the quantum dots, and the magnetic carbon, a programmable carbon nano-nodes, adhere to the hydrogel in this top picture here. And as it shrinks, it forms ridges and pockets in the skin surface. This accumulates the carbon and the quantum dots, and they have an electrical charge in them, and I can see the tissue pull away from them when a carbon dot is on the tissue. So this then encapsulates with the hydrogel, which is an insulator to the nanotech. These then close into pockets and layer over as the shrinkage progresses. It folds over top of itself in multiple layers, hiding these nano-nodes in the hydrogel pockets in the tissue folds. where they incubate and grow over time. The longer the time that they've been there, and the ones that I'm extracting now have been accumulating and building for 60 years. I am 70 years on this planet here so far. And these are coming out now from under multiple layers of hydrogel that have been removed through a process I've developed to get the hydrogel to release. And the pictures below will show you some of the nodes that are coming out of the body. This picture here is of what is being posted as the Morgellons on the internet. This is what I have pulled out of my tissue folds. How I stumbled onto this was 12 years ago when I was totally saturated in the nanotech and depleting health. I was disabled physically, chronic fatigue, and in very poor health. Through a series of events, I had a crystal come out of my body, and I first thought that it was gout, but then I had recalled seeing something about self-assembling polymers, and I started looking into that. And the documents that were published at the time were very sparse, but they were showing the same nano-node growth as what the Morgellons was showing. So I pursued that and discovered that the Morgellons is actually nanotech saturation in the body. This is building layer by layer over the years. And the hydrogel crystallizes into graphene crystals, which actually are radio frequency amplifiers. And these crystals that you're seeing here that have surfaced on my skin from these tissue folds that you're looking at there, magnification is 1,000 times. These crystals are attached to a fiber optic crystalline network like this I'll show you the pink one here because they come out in different colors. This fiber mesh network is layered on this tissue surface and connects all the nano-nodes and the crystals, the graphene oxide crystals in the body. These are RF sensitive and can be remotely controlled, stimulated, and manipulated through the air with Wi-Fi, and RF frequencies. And it is transhumaning us into a nanotech biocomputer. And the major push right now that I've seen is that the mRNA attachment with the graphene to the synapses is the goal. And the documents that I just dug out last week, published on the net, are showing that they have graphene compatible to synapses and are building artificial synapses in the brain. This is going to be to a direct AI connection through Wi-Fi and Li-Fi, and we are so deep into it now, the saturation. You may think that you're not affected. Get a USB 1000 times microscope and start looking at your skin. You'll see that that is covered in blue and red threads under a biofilm coating. This is progressing to the point that the AI will eventually control the thoughts as they are being produced in the brain. They will be able to control the body function by turning the nanotech on and the functions of the nanotech on and off. And all of the glorious things that the good intentioned researchers are developing for medical use to help people are clandestinely being used to control us. There is a force that is Atlas in the background that is utilizing everything that you're doing in order to gain global control over every living creature on the planet. And this is happening with the geoengineering nanotech fallout. I have provided links to this information to the global guild here, and I had asked them to present the copy of the document to you. Also, if you net search Bryan 396 on the internet, you'll find multiple sites. All of it is my work, is solely done by me. It connects all the dots. It validates everything that is happening here. If you look into it yourself, it will be confirmed. And if we don't halt what is going on now, and it may already be too late, because everything on the planet, including the gardens, the food, the fertilizers, is saturated with the nanotech. And now with the mRNA component added to it, it is attaching to our genome and producing nanotech nodes like these. These are just a few of the pictures of the different nodes that I have extracted. The top left here is a polymer node that is growing the crystalline fibers, and you can see the programmable carbon dot in it. This is the next one to the right is a biofilm sheet that's plasticized and gone to graphene diamond. As this morphs, the nanobots are packing the molecules into different grid patterns, and that is changing the structure from carbon all the way to graphene diamond in various stages. I document them. I show them in all the pictures that the transition from one material to another in progress, both sides of before and after. There is no question as to my findings. They are accurate. They have been totally analyzed for 12 years, 18 hours a day, double checked. None of this was gleaned off the net. I develop my own ideas and then find a theory where everything fits, and then I go on the net and look to substantiate it with the documents that have been published. And so far, I have done that in every step of the way, every aspect of this. This will be a shock to you. Please look into it because there's not going to be a human being in the future. And we are already, everybody on the planet, I'm sorry to say, is saturated in this. It's being used as food additives and it's used in geoengineering. I can put magnets in my garden and pull magnetic carbon out of the soil with neomagnets. So that is the gist of what is going on, what is happening. The rest of this is up to you to research and discover for yourself and to pursue whatever methods you can. But I believe that all of our attention should be on finding a way to negate this and stop it and eliminate it. But the only solution I see at this stage, and I'm saying that we are about 60% saturated with this, the only solution would be to come up with a nanotech bot that will consume all other nanotech bots on the planet because the wildlife is affected. And what you're seeing in the erratic behavior in the people, the craziness, the transhuman, transsexual alterations of us is in progress. You see it in the behaviors and the news reports, people eating people's faces. Excuse me, something is drastically wrong here. And I guess that's all I have to say, and the rest is up to you guys to take from here. So that's pretty much all I have to say on this. Any questions?